I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite NFT play to earn games made by Nugbase. It's called FlowerPatch. To get started in the game, you're going to want to go over to Opensea and make your first purchase. I would recommend probably starting with Legendary or Epic. As you can see, the floor on Legendary starts at 0.27 ETH. The game is on Polygon. They have migrated over to the Polygon chain this year. So now there's basically no gas fees when it comes to breeding or purchasing your first flower. Whatever level you start at, just know that when you breed, you will be creating 3 NFTs, and they will go by the variation of the plant that you are breeding with. So let's say you're breeding with another legendary, depending on what kind it is, you're going to get 3 children NFTs, which is really cool. So I would start with legendary, epic, or rare. But if if your money's kind of funny, you want to start with common like I did, you can. Just know that that's pretty much the level you'll be at. I have heard there's a way to level up. Just haven't quite figured that out yet. Okay. But let's go ahead and get to the game so I can kind of give you an introduction of how to get started here. If you look in your bottom left-hand corner, this is your menu board. Looks like a gas station. If you click that, you'll come up to your map. Now, when you first start, your map will look like this. What you're going to want to do is click this tree down in the bottom left-hand corner, and it kind of clean it up a little bit for you, make it like cleaner to look, cleaner to see things. As you can see, you have ice fields, grass, clay, water. The gray is stone. And if you look down here in the very bottom where my mouse is at, you have presents. You can see where presents are at on the map. Each present has crafting material inside of it. And with those crafting materials, you can create different things such as this fence. You can create, let's take a look here, soil blocks, stone blocks, sand blocks, lava blocks, fences, ruins, trees, tables, just different things to make your own layout. As you can see here, some of the people who have been here before me have some really nice layouts. And once you set this up and you've created it with your own crafting materials, no one else can plant on your spot. Okay? This is my little humble spot here that I started with. I have a plant that I've already planted. If you use your inspect hand down here in the bottom, look at where my mouse is at. Your inspect hand, you're able to see some different information about the flower that you've already planted. You can see the owner who owns it. So like if I click this one, I'll see who owns this one, right? This was mine. You can also see, the flower number, and you can see what chain it's on, which of course is Polygon. You can flip your flower over and see some different stats and different info about it. Okay? Let's come back down here to the bottom. Next, you have uh, your tiller hand. And with that, you can till the land because you need to till it before you can actually plant your flower. I'm going to till these two. And then next you want to come over and choose your plant and come over and go ahead and plant it. Next, you'll be prompted to pick your flower. And now you'll be given confirmation that it's planting. Go ahead and click that to get rid of that screen. And as you can see, my flower is now growing. If I use my inspect hand to take a look at it, you can see I have 63 minutes left of growth time. Okay. Every time you harvest a plant, I'm going to harvest this one so you can see. Harvest flower. It's giving you some crafting materials, as you can see, going up there. And also, it's adding to my seed collection. They've just updated the game now that the alpha release is out. And with that, you can use your seeds to actually purchase flowers within the game. To get started though, remember, you need to go over to Opensea and purchase your first flower. But once you come back to the game and you go ahead and figure out where, because when you try to plant your first flower, if you just happen to not pay attention to what type of plant it is, you can kind of tell what it needs to be planted on by looking at the background of the flower. As you can see, this one needs to be planted on ice. This one and this one grass. This one water. Gives you an idea of kind of what you need to be looking for as far as the layout of the land and where you need to try to start setting up shop at. You can pretty much plant anywhere. When you come look at some of these tiles, you will see some people's names on them because they own that particular tile. But to get started, you can pretty much plant anywhere. If you are looking to breed, just know that you want to find one with a rarity that kind of matches yours or a little bit higher. And as I said before, when you do breed, it's going to give you 3 flowers, which is really great. Okay? So let me go ahead and finish taking you through the dashboard. As I said, you have map. And with this map, so you can find the presents, right? Let's find a present and go to it. To move around the screen, if you just simply click, it will take you to that area. Now, when I first did this, I used my hand to move around the screen, and it was taking me forever. This was taking me forever. But that's a way to move around real quickly. Just open up your map, pick an area, click it, and it'll take you to that area very swiftly. Next, in order to open this present, let me try to open it. You see, when I try to open the present, it will tell you down here, grow an adult flower beside the plant to be able to open it. So I'm going to go ahead and till this land right next to it. And I'm going to go ahead and plant one of my flowers that will be able to be planted on stone. The gray is stone. Just taking a minute here. There we go. Once my flower has fully grown, you want to open the present first before you harvest. And what it will do is it will give you some of these crafting materials. Now, when you harvest, as you saw mine did a while ago, it will give you some crafting material and it will take you a while to build up to start getting your own ice blocks so that you can make your own ice block or soil block or different things that you might want to use to make your area nice. As you can see, some of these guys that's been in here for a while have whole campgrounds. You see, they have tents and all kind of things, pretty much staking their area. So if they ever want to come back out and clear this area, they can, and they can start planting in it. It's kind of a way to kind of like reserve your spot. Okay. Now, if you can notice, I can't clear that tile. Well, I probably can, but I shouldn't. I'm not even going to try to. I don't want. I don't want any problems. Because here's the thing about it: you can make bombs in here, and you get to messing with someone's area and their plants. You might get bombed. If you look down here at the very bottom, you got pot bombs and barrel bombs. I haven't used one yet, but I went in the Telegram group and I saw someone talking about they were going to bomb someone. I didn't even stick around to find out what it was about. Hey, well, none of my business. You know how we do. We mind our business. But if you come back down here, as I said once before, this is your dashboard, so you can see your map, right? You can move around. Let me help you out on how to find your plant. Because once you plant it and you get to move around this screen, you can lose your plant. It took me an hour the first time I came in this game without any instructions on what to do. But if you look down here where my mouse is at, if you click your flower, if you click the flower, and you look up here, if you look right there, you're going to see flashing. That's where my plants are at. wherever you plant them at on here, if you just click this flower, you will see your flowers blinking at you. And you can just go to that area and harvest. Be careful that you don't lose your flowers, because if you do, trust me when I say it'll take you a while to find it. So just kind of be cognizant of where you planted at, kind of try to remember the area, but you can always fall back and click that and find your plants. So let's say I'm over here somewhere, and I'm looking around. Now, what I do when I come in here, I try to first go and find all the presents I can, and I try to plant a flower next to the presents, because sometimes they do drop NFTs in the game, which is an extra bonus to play. So the Grow House was the first iteration of the game. And with the Grow House, you're able to actually come into this particular area and go ahead and stake. What you will want to do is go ahead and go to Quick Swap, create your pair with Grow USDC, come back over here, and you can go ahead and stake and generate yourself some nice yield. That's for the DeFi, DGens that might be following me. And you also have the FlowerPatch game. Either one you can plant your flowers in order to, but over here in the Grow House app is where you're able to actually stake and generate some yield on the Grow token. Do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment, just for you to have fun with. When I did come over to actually try to plant into the actual Grow House, unless you buy your own plot of land, the only place that you can really plant is in the community garden, which is what you come to when you first come into the game section of the app.Grow.house part of this, okay? But when you come over to the Flower Patch game, you're able to plant anywhere in here as long as it doesn't belong to anyone. And in doing so, you can also create your own space. Let me go ahead and water my plant, because as you can see, if you don't plant like I planted this a while ago, and if you do not water it, it won't start to grow. So you'll come back 30 to 45 minutes later thinking that your plant should be almost grown. And if you did not water it, just know that that's a new part of the game that they've enacted, I think within the last couple of weeks. Your plant will not grow. So make sure that you water your plants. Let me go back through this quickly. Remember, this is your dashboard where you can access your map. It's going to look like this when you first come in here with all your little trees on here, so it might be kind of hard to see. But if you click that and turn that off, you'll be able to see a little bit clearer. This button down here on the right is how you can find your plants, and this is how you find your presents. Okay? Let me show you another little part of this game. If you look down here at the very bottom right-hand corner down here where my mouse is at, that's how you can quickly get to the store. And pretty much that's it. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I have a couple more games I want to bring to you and see if it's something that you like. And we're out.